that others can benefit as well. Just go ahead and share, please, so that others can benefit. All right. We are at 10 right now. I think I can go ahead and start right now. So today, the main reason why I connected here is just because I feel like I owe it to this platform to share with you all how we've been doing this year. Because it's all because of you that this is possible. Trust me, you cannot even believe it. Like I said the last time, the same way you think I am, inspiring you and influencing you is the same way I feel. The feeling is mutual. The reason why I have been able to be consistent, for all this while, every week, making sure that I come up here and deliver quality content to you is because of you. That's the only reason. Bob Chi, I am African. I'm from everywhere Africa. I'm a proud African and everywhere Africa. So that's been a question that has been going on along. People wanting to know where I'm from. So, but I like to say that I'm from Africa. Anything Africa, I am. All right. Yeah. So that's who I am. I'm from Africa. Anything Africa, that's where I'm from. Yes. So it's been amazing to see the support you all have been showing here. The support you all have been reaching out individually, not only through this platform to encourage me and appreciate the work that I've been putting out here. And one thing that I've never disclosed is that I am not the only one doing all this. Trust me, I am not. I may be the face of being agile, but we have a lot of awesome people, so many awesome people that have been making this happen. The people that will make sure that the contents, the topics that we discuss, they've been so amazing. They are the ones that will sort out the topics that they think people will really benefit from. Contribution in research to ensure that what we put out here is authentic and as raw as possible. The advice, the direction, it's not only me. It's not only, trust me, I can never do it all by myself. And then when it comes to our community of practice, I cannot even say how much inspiration I've been drawing from our community of practice. I'm not talking about the YouTube community. I'm not talking about the LinkedIn community. I'm talking about our BeingAgile community of practice. Those that have passed through our mentoring program and now they are working, and then we have a community of practice that we've put in place. Their contribution has been out of this world. You cannot even believe it. So all of that is the reason why we've been able to achieve this much. You cannot believe how much we've achieved just this year alone. I have all the data here. Agile is empirical. So anything we are doing, we want to be doing them, providing information based on facts. So I'm going to be sharing all that with you though. But before we go into analyzing our report, our performance report for this year, I would like us to first talk about a very important topic that someone posted on the last video that I made. Someone asked that question in the comment section. And it didn't only end there. The person reached out to also try to find out, even though the person was looking to get into the mentoring program, but the person also still said, oh, I'm the person that asked that question online. So I thought it was also important. And the reason why I thought I should come on here and share as well is because even the people, my mentees, for some reason, I find them struggling as well with that same question. I find them struggling with understanding the difference between healthy product backlog and backlog refinement. So today, I just want to draw some line around that and explain around what we refer to as a healthy product backlog, what that really means. So please just give me a second. Let me just share this information. Someone is trying to locate this link. So let me just share. So give me a second, please. Yeah, so again, as I will be going, if you have questions, I plan to be on here for about an hour. So if you have questions, keep post your questions. I will be glad to, answer them as I know. Someone said I'm a Cameroonian. Yeah, maybe and maybe not, but I am African. I am a full-blown African queen. That's who I am. I'm from everywhere Africa, Kenya, Nigeria. I can switch in any accent you can imagine, trust me. And I have names in all of these African countries. So my African name, my Nigerian name is Folake. So for those who know, that's my Nigerian name. And I embrace it fully. Some people know my Cameroonian name, some know my Kenyan name. So anyway, Africa, that's where I come from. Yeah. All right. So let's keep going. So I want us to really address the health of a product backlog. Hello, hi Chanel. Thank you for joining. Thank you all for joining. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year. Yeah, so don't be confused, but I'm African, 100%. And I love it. I love to represent my African continent. I'm so in love with it. When I see you all getting out of your comfort zone, the corner that the world has pushed up to, that corner that nope, this is not for you. This is only for some specific people. When I see you all getting out of that corner, and taking charge, it makes me so happy. Yeah, so we are about 20 online right now. Yeah, so for like suits me. Thank you so much. I love it. Yeah, so my Cameroonian name is Lum. My Nigerian name is Folake. Yeah, my Kenyan name is Dogi. That's my Kenyan name. Yep. All right. So let's keep going, please. Let's keep going. So when we talk about the health of a product backlog, what do we mean? What do we mean when we say a product backlog is healthy? So as I am going, I want this to be very interactive. If you have any thoughts around what I just said, please post it. Share your thoughts about what you understand by the health of a product backlog. Share your thoughts about what you understand by the health of a product backlog. When they say a product backlog is healthy, what are your thoughts on that? So I would like to share my idea, but I also like to learn from you, because I don't know it all. I'm very always open to learning new things. So when we say the product backlog is healthy, my thoughts based on my experience, yes, Larissa, that's really my what I'm thinking too. It means that according to Larissa, the healthy product backlog means that we want to make sure that it is clear and comprehensive. Yes. Chanel, we want to also make sure that it is prioritized. Awesome. Those are two great points. In Larissa's points, there are a lot of it's like open, it's a broad thing, and which is very important. Hi, Aisha, my beloved Aisha. I love that lady so much. Aisha has my kind of spirit. Aisha is one of our community members, so she passed through our mentoring program. A lot of people has been inspired by Aisha. She passed through the program. She's even going faster than I can ever imagine. She's even doing way beyond what I can ever do. A lot of people has landed their jobs just by Aisha's contribution. Trust me. I love to recognize people that are doing well. Yeah, so well detailed and prioritized correctly. Yes, that is also those are all my thoughts on what we are referring to by a healthy product backlog. Yes, the acceptance criteria are clear. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, those are my thoughts on the health of a product backlog. So all of these great things that you all have, contributed as a Scrum Master, where does a Scrum Master fit into all this? What are your thoughts? I don't just want to sit here and talk and talk and talk by myself. I don't just want to make you always think that I know it all. You always have to come and sit here and listen to me. I am also learning from you. So I want you people to challenge yourself and share your thoughts. No technical depth. Well, yeah, that's a great point. But I think this no technical depth, Chanel, those no technical depth applies after the work has already been done. Like when they're thinking that they've done the work, and then you want to be sure that the work doesn't have any technical depth. But when we are talking about the health of a product backlog, and then as a Scrum Master, where do you fit into all this? Where do you fit into all this? That is the thing that I really want us to address today, because we are Scrum Masters. We are Agile Coaches. As a matter of fact, Aisha is our latest Agile Coach from the platform. Aisha is a professional nurse. Sorry, Aisha, for sharing your story here, but you've been so inspiring. Aisha is a professional nurse. She joined the program because she felt like it fits her like a glove, like this whole Agile work, calling and her passion. She got her first Scrum Master job in the space of no time. So some of our community members may be hearing this for the first time. She's been working for about a month or something, but Aisha already landed. She built herself up to a point where she already landed her coaching job, her Agile coaching job. So that's so inspiring. All right. So Emeline says, making sure that the stories are prioritized and ranked. Yes, that is also great. Yeah. All right. So all these great points that you all have contributed, I'm just going to add my own 2 cents to it. Again, know that what I say is not built on stone, though. That's the mindset I need you people to come here with. What I say is not built on stone. It's not the gospel truth. So feel free to challenge it. Challenge the status quo. Share your own ideas. Okay? So that we all can learn. So in my opinion, and based on my experience, when we say that the product backlog is healthy, as a Scrum Master, what do you want to do? So your own job is to ensure that that product backlog is healthy. But taking steps to make it healthy is really not your accountability. But even though as a team, we all are accountable to the outcome of the sprint. So it means that if whoever is accountable to ensure that they are taking these steps, working in that product backlog to ensure that it is healthy, is failing, then we all are failing. So the person who is typically accountable to ensuring that the product backlog is healthy is the product owner, because the product owner is that sole authority of the product backlog, right? So to ensure that that product backlog is healthy, the product owner has to do that. But in my experience, 95% of the product owners I have come in contact with, they hardly know what it means to keep the product backlog healthy. For some reason, I'm not sure why. I say this all the time because that's my truth. They hardly understand what it means by keeping the product backlog healthy. For some reason, I've also realized that most of the product owners that I have worked with, they've had an extensive background in the traditional way of doing things. So most of the times, organizations or leadership will think that because they've been in this organization for a long time, they've been working on this product, then they should fit perfectly in as a product owner or a product manager. But the truth is, having a knowledge of the product doesn't mean that you have an understanding of the expectation of a product owner in an agile setting. That is the big disconnect that a lot of organizations have not been able to figure out yet. You see, so that is why most product owners will struggle to come up with a healthy product backlog. So even understand what it means to keep the product backlog healthy, because the traditional way of doing things, it doesn't work. It doesn't happen like that. Now, in my experience, when I connect with my teams and I realize that they are carrying over a lot of work, they will spend a lot. So these are some of the pointers that will make me check the product backlog. That, okay, how is the health of the product backlog? You see, so they're carrying over a lot of stories at the end of the sprint. And then they will spend a lot of time in sprint planning meetings. Their sprint planning meetings will always run over the scheduled time or the time box. Maybe they don't even have a backlog refinement session ongoing. They don't even understand what that is. And then in the course of the sprint, they will be asking a lot of questions. They will have a lot of impediments. All these things are the pointers or the red flags that will want me to think that, okay, let's check the product backlog. You see, so now checking the product backlog, I would typically find that it's hardly ever healthy. And those are usually the causes of these things that I just mentioned. Those are usually the causes of these things that I just mentioned. You see, so now when I see these things, what am I going to do? I'm connecting with the PO as a servant leader. You don't just want to pop up like, okay, why are you not doing your job? These people will resist you like leprosy or something. You see, so you want to now get into your whole servant leadership. So when I say servant leader, according to the Scrum guide, it's now called true leader. So I just want you to, in your head, know that's what I'm talking about. You get into your whole true leader. Let me use the right word. You get into your whole true leadership mode. Connect with your PO to find out what is going on via understanding of the agile way of doing things, via understanding of their accountability in a Scrum team for a Scrum team to succeed. You see, so that is going to be the discussion that I'm going to connect with my PO to have, because most times you see that this PO, they've been doing their whole whatever they've been doing for years, and then if you pop up like you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, that ego thing, it makes them to want to resist you and not be vulnerable enough to share their challenges with you. And the only way you can truly understand or be able to help someone if you truly understand their challenge. You see? So I get into my whole true leadership mode, connect to truly have a conversation, applying the third degree listening skills. Listening not to argue, listening not to correct, listening not to say you're right or you're wrong. No. Truly be open to just listen and take it in. Take it in. Doing that alone, you'll be able to be empathetic, and just that alone, they will be able to open enough to you so that you can truly assess them and know where their gaps is, and then that's where you come in to help them. So as a Scrum Master, again, with this product backlog thing, those will be the steps that I will take. And then there is a nice cool technique that I always use. It's called the ZEEP criteria. The ZEEP criteria. For those who have gone through our program, they know what the ZEEP criteria is. They should know what the ZEEP criteria is. So the ZEEP criteria is just an acronym. D stands for detailed. The first E stands for emergent. The second E stands for estimable. Then the P stands for prioritized. That's the meaning of the ZEEP criteria. So that alone is the weapon, is good enough for you to use to coach your PO to a point where your backlog health will be top notch. Especially after taking all the steps to ensure that your PO is now comfortable to be open enough to share with you their gaps. And then I come in with these ZEEP criteria technique to help them understand what it takes to keep the product backlog healthy. I'm just going to play a scenario here with you. So now, assuming that I have connected with the PO, right? We already had the conversation. And now the understanding is that we have a shared understanding that, okay, PO, at this point, you need help. Okay, PO, you need to understand, we need to close your gap on understanding what the health of a product backlog means, in understanding what, as a product owner, how you're supposed to act for these things to happen and be helpful, you see. So, yeah, right, Aisha. You see, it's very normal. Aisha is mentioning that their PO didn't even know what the invest criteria is, which is very normal. Trust me. So, okay, so we've had that understanding. And then what I'll do is, what I have done We agree that, okay, do you want a coaching session for a while? Let's set a goal here. And then we can monitor progress, see how we're doing, and then we can adjust accordingly. Most of the time, especially if you build that relationship with them, they'll be like, okay, let's do this. So I'll schedule workshops, coaching sessions for a while. Let's say a month coaching session, 2 weeks, 2 months coaching session. I'm just going to schedule that coaching session where I'll meet with the PO on weekly basis based on his availability or their availability. I'll meet with them on weekly basis. And the line of conversation that I'll be having will be, okay, come on, let's pull up the product backlog and see what's in there. Okay, we open the product backlog. And typically, according to the way I've been doing it, that make it works for us as a team is I'm going to time when I'm going to schedule this to happen before our refinement session, you see, or planning. If we don't do refinement sessions, if this planning is just what we do, okay. But I'm going to make sure that these sessions are happening before we are meeting as a team. So I'm connecting with the PO, and sometimes the PO may not really have a good understanding of return on investment like that. So it will be challenging to even if you're having this coaching session with the PO, it will still not be fruitful if the PO doesn't have a good understanding of return on investment, and if the PO doesn't have a good understanding of the product as well. It will be challenging. It will still defeat the purpose. So if I also identify that as another gap, what I would do is I would talk with the PO to connect me with someone that has a good knowledge of the product, aside from just that PO. Typically, in my experience, it may be the engineering manager. If they have project managers in the organization, it may be the project manager, depending on the organizational structure. It may also be the global product manager, the PO's boss. So I will connect with those people, bring them into this weekly coaching sessions. That's what I'll do. So that, because I need their help so that we can prioritize this backlog, you see. So during these meetings now, we'll connect. What I am doing is not like I'm going in there and doing it for them. No. Again, this is where I come in as a Scrum Master or an Agile Coach, right? I am guiding them to ensure that the product backlog is healthy. Now, this is what I'm going to use as my guidance. My ZIP criteria is my weapon, is the tool that I'm using. So looking at my ZIP criteria, so for Scrum Masters who may be wondering, how am I going to help the PO and all of that, getting overwhelmed, not even knowing how to connect with your PO, use your ZIP criteria, my friend. Use your ZIP criteria. It's going to help you. But before you want to use anything, make sure you understand it yourself. That's why I am here helping you understand that. You see? So I have my ZIP criteria. I'm starting with the first D. So we have the product backlog open. I'm asking, first, do we have all the stories we need for the next 1 or 2 sprints? So I'm using this coaching technique now to guide that PO. So by asking questions, the only thing I'm asking is questions. But now the challenge is you need to know the right questions to ask. See? So do we have all the stories we need to achieve whatever the goal is? What is the goal for the next sprints, the next 2 sprints in the first place? Okay, that question will prompt the PO to think like, okay, what does a customer want for the next 2 sprints? And then the PO quickly check if all those stories are available. If not, right there and there, we are crafting those stories. Hello, Ken. Thank you for joining. Right there and there, we are crafting those additional stories. And then now we have all those stories in there by asking that one question. The second question I'll be asking, still under this D, that's a detailed we are talking about. All these stories we have in here, are they detailed enough? Sometimes you see stories, but you just be the summary of the story. In the detailed section is empty. Description is empty. Acceptance criteria field is empty. Maybe it may need some mock-ups, links, screenshots, all those things. They are empty, but the team members need those things to be able to do the work. You see, so if I look at that story inside my tool, whatever tool you're using, whether you're using Jira, Agile, whatever, and you see that the fields are empty, that's going to be my pointer. Okay, I'm asking, so are they detailed enough? Just by asking, if the PO say yes, they are detailed enough, and then I'm seeing the field empty, I'm asking, okay, but why is this empty? That will prompt the PO to now understand that, okay, that's what I am referring to. The PO will now go ahead and enter all the details, enter the description. So the key things I want to see in the description, just like you all have mentioned, the acceptance criteria I want to see in there. And then I'm asking the PO, do we need any form of links, screenshots, whatever that will help the team member do this work? I'm asking them, okay, if that is the case, all right, go in and enter them. The PO will now enter all that information. Now that we are set about the detailed part of the stories, the next thing I'm checking is the second E. This backlog that we have, has it been emerged? Hi, John. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Hi, Tafo. Thank you. Happy New Year. Has it been emerged? So emerge means that, so emergent. Have you updated the backlog? You know, every sprint as we work, applying the empirical principle, the principle of empiricism, inspection, transparency, and adaptation, right? When we go for a review, we expect the stakeholders to provide feedback based on the work we've done. When we get this feedback, we want to adapt the feedback to the product backlog. Now, this emergent, that is where it comes in. I'm asking the PO, have you emerged the backlog already? Yes, Diane. Thank you for joining, Diane. I see all my people here. Thank you all for joining. Yeah, has it been emerged, right? So just asking that alone, the PO will be prompt to adapt the feedback that we got from the review meeting, and maybe some of the feedback that we also got from our retrospective into the product backlog. So emerging means you're updating the product backlog to reflect reality, to reflect the new ask. Sometimes it may not only be through the review meeting or retrospective. It may be additional requests that has come in, which is different from the original plan that we had. So that's what I am checking. Have you updated this backlog? Just asking that question alone, the PO will now ensure that whatever feedback, all those things are added, you see, into the backlog. All right, so that is done. The next E is the estimable. Sometimes you see that POs, whoever they're writing this user stories, they struggle with crafting a good user story. They would just write a broad, vague, ambiguous user story that when it gets to the team members doesn't even understand where to start to estimate these user stories. And that's a problem, you see. And it would definitely affect the outcome of the sprint, which is the value we are trying to deliver to the customers. And it would affect our predictability. We want to be predictable, right? So that when we are giving data to management can trust that data to make predictive decisions. Not that they are holding it against us as a performance thing or not. I just want you to have that understanding. But we want to be credible, you see, so that when we are giving data to management or communicating any data on, okay, we think that every sprint we can accomplish this, they will trust that. Not that you give data and they're like, no, seriously, you never achieve anything. You say you don't want to be that, you see. John, thank you. I'm so excited too. First live session with you. So that's what you want to do. You want to guide your PO to ensure that when they are crafting these user stories, it should be in a state where it can easily be estimated. You see, so your user story should be sliced vertically. Don't ask that question today, because that's going to be a topic for a whole other day. Very important topic. So it's supposed to be sliced vertically to a point where they can easily estimate it. So that's the estimable we are talking about in that zip criteria. And then the last is the P. You see. So please, as you join, go ahead and share so that others can connect. Please share as much as possible. And then the other is the P. And then also there YouTube has upgraded us and we now have a possibility where people can show their support. So if you look right down below, I'm not sure how to go about it myself though. So if you click, there is a $sign there. If you click on that $sign, you can easily, show your support as you will. So I just wanted to put that out there so that's also available. Thank you so much. All right, and then the last in that nice technique is the P. You see, that P now stands for prioritize. Okay, you're asking your PO at this point, everything we have in this product backlog, it's been emerged. The items can be estimated. They are detailed enough, acceptance criteria, everything. All the items that we need to achieve the goal for the next sprint or two are available in here. At this point, Nana, welcome. I'm so excited to have you. I also have a Ghanaian name, by the way. So at this point, have you prioritized? Are they in order of priority? It is frustrating for you to connect for maybe your planning meeting, and then your team is set and pumped up to get going, and then you present a product backlog. Thank you, Aisha. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. And then you present a product backlog that doesn't even, it's not prioritized. Now you expect the team to start going in there and start sorting. Just sorting thing live on a planning session, it can chop like 1 hour of your time. And that's not the only problem. It affects the team morale. And you don't want that. That's the biggest thing you want to protect of your team, their morale, their engagement. Because some team members will just be disconnected because they know, oh, we still have to prioritize this thing. We still have to sort things out. You want engagement to run throughout. Thank you, Akuro. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yeah. So you want to make sure that your PO keep that backlog prioritized before you bring it to your team. You see? So after all these items are available in there, guide your PO, prioritize this product backlog. So ask them the things that are urgent, that should be done like right away, should be on the top of your product backlog. So that as you're presenting, assuming that this is your product backlog, as you're presenting that product backlog to the team, right? You want the team to safely assume that they can start picking items from the top and discussing them and putting them into the sprint backlog. You don't want a situation where they are not sure where to start. You don't want a situation where they are not sure where to start. Yeah, so that is the reality. You realize that POs, they don't do these things. They don't do these things. You realize that in your whole Scrum Master world, you will spend about 70% of your entire career trying to help POs. That is my reality, though. I don't know about a lot of you, but that's been my reality. So make them prioritize this product backlog. And prioritizing it doesn't only end there. Once it is prioritized, right, you want to rank them too, right? In the sense that they'll say this is priority number 1. For example, priority number 2. We don't want priority number 2 to be in the middle, or priority number 1 to be in the middle. Yes, you want the priority to be ranked in order of importance, in order of return on investment, or some people call it ROI, in order of return on investment. You see, so you want them to do, or you want your PO to do all that. If your PO has successfully meet this deep criteria, then you should be certain that at least you are in a comfortable place to achieve a done increments at the end of the sprint. That exactly is what we mean by the health of a product backlog, a healthy product backlog. Saying that your product backlog is healthy, it means that it meets your deep criteria. And then sometimes I would take the invest criteria as a supporting factor, right? So that the PO knows that, okay, when we are bringing this to the team, these are the things that the team will be running by to ensure that they are committing to things that they are certain, at least have some confidence that they can accomplish. So looking at how our product backlog is at this point, do you think that it can easily meet the invest criteria when it gets to the team? So all these are the checks that I am doing during this coaching, this one-on-one with my PO. So I am just asking these questions and then the PO is doing the work. That's the scenario. That's how it works in my own world. See, so team, as you have your own experience, please use that comment section. That's why we have the comment section. Go ahead and share. Go ahead and share your own experience. We'll be so glad that this 2022 is going to be awesome. We're going to be, doing a lot of live, bringing in some of our community members. I already know some of the people that I'll be bringing in here, my awesome people. And I think that they already know themselves. I'm going to be bringing them here so that we are now professionals. We all are now professionals, thankfully, so that we all can, exchange ideas and see what we can come up with. Yeah. So that is what we mean by a healthy product backlog. So I want to just give a pause here at this point so that anybody who have any question around this healthy product backlog should put their question out there so that we can address it before we move to our next topic for today. This is your chance. So go ahead and post your question. If you have any question around the health of a product backlog, go ahead and post your question. But one thing I need you to understand is that that zip criteria is your gold. That's your gold. Hold that as your gold. That is rather than go sitting there and trying to train your PO, talk. Most of the time, talking. If you keep talking to them all the time, and like the product backlog is not healthy, because that's been my experience as a coach. I see sometimes a lot of Scrum Masters end up complaining even more than these people they are supposed to be supporting. They end up complaining like they never keep the product backlog healthy. Okay, yeah, but what are you doing to help them? That's what I'll be asking them. So what are you doing? Yeah, so Valerie, deep. Yes, that's the deep. It stands for, D stands for detailed, E stands for emergent. The second E stands for estimable. The last E stands for prioritized. That's what it means. Yeah, so so as a Scrum Master, you have to collaborate. Your relationship with your PO have to be healthy, whether you like it or not. That's just the world we live in our agile world, because it doesn't matter if what you think like that. It's not about you. That's the point I'm trying to make. It's not about you. It's never about us as a Scrum Master or servant leaders or agile coaches, whatever you are in this agile space. Unfortunately, especially if you're passionate about this, it's never about us. It's always about them. That is how we should gain our satisfaction, by helping other people meet their goal. That is how we gain our own satisfaction and our own recognition. And that, it feels so good to me. So yes. So if you notice that the backlog is not healthy, don't join them in complaining. Don't do that. Don't do that. Connect, have conversation, healthy conversation, not blaming nobody, recognizing their achievements so far, find that sweet spot, to penetrate them and get them to a learning mode and coachable mode where you can now help them come up with a healthy product backlog. So that is going to be the baseline, right, that I have established. Now, moving forward, for the sake of sustainability, because come to think of it, at the end of the day, what you're trying to do is to help your organization, your team become self-managing, right? Autonomous, self-organizing. You don't want a situation where they can only depend on you. Like if you're not available, then no product backlog will be unhealthy. The product backlog will just catch malaria again if you're not around. See, you don't want that situation, right? So in order to create sustainability, long-term success, I have established this coaching session for a month or two. So every week I am following up with the PO to ensure that the PO is staying on track with these things. And before I forget, the secret to succeed in this thing is being proactive. Proactiveness. Yes. Don't rush over it, because if you still rush as a PO, you rush over these things, trust me, you will still miss them. You'll miss things. So always be proactive, because it all starts from the product backlog. Whether you like it or not, you can preach Scrum and Agile for all I care. If your product backlog is not healthy, whatever you're getting out is unhealthy too, whether I like it or not. The product backlog is not healthy, whatever you're getting out of that sprint is going to be unhealthy. It's just a reflection. What you put in is what you get out. It's as simple as that. So for sustainability, every week, that's session that we schedule, that one-on-ones, I'm connecting to ensure that the PO is doing these things. I don't just leave it for the PO like I have already showed you. That's it. No, we do that a lot. I have, in my experience, I've seen a lot of Scrum Masters doing that, and then they end up complaining, connecting their one-on-one in their Scrum Master committee of practice and complain. No, don't be that complainer. Be that helper. That's who you want to be. If you've chosen this path, then choose it with all of your heart. I know sometimes it's easier said than done. Sometimes it can be frustrating. That's just the fact, especially with POs that are hard not to crack. If I'm experiencing things like that, what I'm doing is I am coming back to my own self, retrospecting my own self. What am I not communicating right? What am I not doing right? How can I better communicate this? How can I better penetrate this person? How can I help this person get it? Is there anything that I myself is resisting? Because sometimes you may also be the resistance, not just being open to, because you don't know it all. You can never know it all. You see? So sometimes you may even be your own problem or the problem of the team. So the only way you can bypass that is retrospect. Be open to feedback. Sometimes the feedbacks may be negative like that, though. But what I would do is I'm open to it. I pick the ones that can be helpful, and then I throw the rest in the trash. That's what I do. Yeah. So for sustainability, continuously connect with your PO. In my experience, you realize that after a while, especially if you create that mindset in your PO, like, this is not going anywhere. This has come to stay. This healthy backlog thing has come to stay. You would see that gradually, changing people mindset behavior is challenging. Gradually, they will adapt, and it will become their new personality. You see, you become their new personality, and then they will start, staying on top of the game. In my experience, I've realized that even like the 5th week, we don't even need that one-on-one sessions anymore. We don't even need it anymore, because when I'm connecting with the PO is already up to it. The PO has already done everything. I'm like, oh, wonderful, great job. And you see, just the PO knowing that they are contributing positively to the team, it motivates them, and you people become best friends. That has been my experience. So yeah. So now let me see here if we have questions so that we can address. So team, I also see questions as the best way to learn. People asking questions, it opens your mind to things that you may have never thought about. All right. So I already addressed what the DIP criteria is. Healthy with Benna. Valerie, I already addressed what that is. I already addressed what that is. And then for the invest criteria, my students know this. When they ask something, sometimes I'll say, that's your assignment. I was tempted to say that, to tell Ate, that's your assignment for today. The invest criteria, Ate is asking what the invest criteria is. Anybody who knows what the invest criteria is should just go ahead and put in the comment section. Ate, that's your assignment. That's what the invest criteria is. Take that as your assignment. Invest criteria is as important as the DIP criteria. But the invest criteria comes into play when the product backlog is already in front of the team. It really manifests like that, or it's really useful like that when the product backlog is in front of the team for refinement and planning, or refinement and or planning. But to know what that invest stands for, that's your assignment. That's your homework. All right, so let's move on here. Chanel, detailed emergent estimate. Awesome. Thank you, Chanel. And then can you hit the rewind button on DIP? All right, I think I already did that. Is it the PO responsibility for the product backlog items or the Scrum Master? Okay, so Patrice, what do you mean by is it the PO responsibilities for the product backlog item? If I understand you correctly, I don't like to assume. People who know me know that I never assume. I like to know what you exactly are talking about. But for the sake of clarity here, are you asking that is PO's responsibility to create product backlog items or the Scrum Master's responsibility? Is that what you're asking? Or are you asking that is it the product? Are you asking whose responsibility it is to keep it healthy? Because those are two different things. What exactly are you trying to know, Patrice? You. All right, Amma Minta is asking, can you please explain a little bit about the estimable? Okay, so what I mean by estimable is that the items that you have created, the user stories, I call them items sometimes, the user stories that you've created, it should be in a state, it should be crafted in a way that the team members can easily estimate it. It shouldn't be vague. Because if you cannot measure it, then you cannot do it. That's just the way it is. If you cannot measure it, then you don't understand it. So being able to craft it in a way that team members can estimate it, it means that you're helping them better understand the work. So that simply means it should be clear enough, and it should be specific. It should not be vague. It should not be ambiguous. That's really what that means. I hope that answers your question. So think about it this way. See it this way, or this should be your take home. If you cannot estimate it, then you cannot do it. It's as simple as that. This brings me to think about spike. I would see some teams estimating spike. If you're able to estimate spike, then why are you spiking it? If you can estimate, then that's not a spike. You see, because if you don't understand it, then you cannot estimate it. If you cannot estimate it, then you cannot do it. And then if you say something is spike, then you're estimating, and then it's not a spike. It's as simple as that. All right. Anita Tayo is saying, Karen, this is Anita. I know that is Anita Tayo. Is 3C's necessary? Yes, Anita. The 3C's is absolutely necessary. The 3C is not only necessary when you're talking about the health of the product backlog. The 3C's is necessary throughout your career as a Scrum Master, as an Agile coach, in anything you're engaging on, whether it's coaching, whether it's mentoring, whether it's facilitation, whether it's training. 3C is as important. 3C, for those who may be wondering, the first C stands for card. So card can be anything. Card can be the user story, depending on the context, depending on the problem you're trying to solve. Let's say if we are talking about the user stories in a bucket, right? The first C stands for card. At that point, we are referring to the user story as a card. The second C stands for conversation. So if you're picking up a card, okay, now let's have a conversation. That conversation is everything. If a conversation, that's why if your team members are not attending sprint planning, then you can hardly succeed as a Scrum team. If they are not attending refinement sessions, you can hardly succeed. You see? So yeah, so that conversation has to happen. That's when you people can be sure that you can have some consensus. This is where the third C comes in. The third C is confirmation, which is the same as consensus. You see? So that's what it is. So who will you be having consensus with if the conversation is not happening? If conversation didn't happen and you pull in work, then there is no consensus. There is no confirmation, and anything can happen. If the team members did not achieve the goal, then it's not on them. So as a Scrum Master, you guide them towards making sure they're using these 3Cs. And then let's look at the scenario of maybe you're in a workshop session. You're trying to figure out a problem. At this point, you would see the first C, which is a card, as the problem at hand. What's the problem we are trying to solve here today? That's the first C. Identifying, carving out, mapping out the problem, or framing the problem. That's going to be your first C. So these 3Cs can apply everywhere as a 7 leader. Once you pull up that you carve out the problem. Okay, now let's have a conversation. What have you been observing? What do you think is causing those problems? How can we fix it? And then once you agree on, okay, this is how we can fix it, then that consensus happen. This is what we've agreed to do. These are action items, and then you move forward. So yeah, the 3Cs is a powerful tool as a 7 leader. All right, Amy Drew is asking, how do I know the backlog is not healthy? All right, I think you connected late, Amy. So for the sake of others here, maybe I cannot go back and address that. But once this is over, you can go there and catch up on how you would know. There are some typical pointers that will give you a clue or cue you to think that the product backlog is unhealthy. I already mentioned them. All right. Aisha said, before I joined my organization, my team was not doing refinement. It took me 3 months to get my team to finally do it. Great job, Aisha. At least you achieved something. So patience is the key to things like this. Yeah. You have to be patient, continuously retrospect, and see how you can better communicate. Those are the things I would do. Awesome. All right. Yeah, Aisha is doing amazing. I'm so proud of this lady. Helene, sorry if I didn't pronounce your name correctly. All right, thank you, Helene. Thank you. Awesome, Helene. Helene passed her Scrum Master certification. All right, Helene, I think I've pinned how you want to get in touch with us. I've pinned how you want to get in. Thank you so much to everyone that has shown their support, through the whatever YouTube has made possible here. I don't even know what it's called though. But thank you so much for everyone that has shown their support. I really do appreciate it. It means a lot. It's very encouraging and motivating. So yeah, so Helene, on the very first comment that was pinned on this chat box, that's our contact information. Through our website, you can get in touch with us. We have our phone numbers there listed. We have our email. Reach out to us, especially if you're looking to get into the level 2 program. You can start on any Monday or any Wednesday. It depends on how quickly you want this. If you're looking to get trained, that's the level 1. The due date for registration is going to be today by 12 midnight. So please get yourself registered and make your 2022 be a great one. You don't want to be a spectator. I don't want you to come and sit here and listen to me share all these great stories. I want to be sharing your story. That's what I want to do. So register and get yourself trained and let's get going. We are not joking this year. I'm going to be sharing our performance report for 2021. It's amazing. I'm so overwhelmed with joy. Seriously. Yeah, so Donald is asking, how do I get in touch with you? All right, so Donald, I think I already addressed that question. www.beingagileconsulting.com. That's our website. www.beingagileconsulting. Just look on the chat that is pinned on this chat box here and click the link. It will take you to the website. Invest criteria is an acronym of what a good, yes, that is what it is, of what a good user story should meet. Yes, exactly. Invest, yes, thank you all so much for sharing your thoughts on this invest criteria. It's amazing. It's amazing. All your contribution is just everything. Yeah, I'm learning a lot from you every day. Is it the PO responsibility to pull backlog stories during planning or a Scrum Master? Okay, I think I saw this question on one of the videos that I made a while ago. I saw this question. Someone asked, is product owner's responsibility to pull backlog stories during planning, or is it the Scrum Master's responsibility? So for our Scrum Masters in the house, what do you think? Use the comment section to drop your thoughts. What do you think? In my opinion, look, I need you to see a team as your whole body. If your finger is paining, if you're feeling pain on your finger, right, your whole body is hurt. That's just the way it is. You will be uncomfortable. If your eye is hurting, your entire body will be uncomfortable. That's just the way it is. So it's the same for a Scrum team. In a Scrum team, right, you want to get to that maturity point where everyone feels okay to just jump in and facilitate. You see, so I don't want you to look at it that, okay, no, it's a Scrum Master's responsibility to pull that story into the product backlog, into the sprint backlog during planning, or is a PO's responsibility to pull it into the product backlog, into the sprint backlog during planning. I don't want you to see it like that. It's all, you people are all accountable to the outcome of the sprint. However, the sprint planning is typically facilitated by the Scrum Master. Best practice, if you ask me, the PO should be facilitating the sprint planning. And then the refinement is facilitated by the PO as well. You know why? Because that PO is that person that has a good knowledge of that product. So what's the point in two people communicate, having conversation, and one person is just there just to be dragging stories and bringing them to the product, onto the sprint backlog because you are a Scrum Master and you want to look like you're doing something? That's what I call pretend busy. Yeah, I call that pretend busy. That's what I call it. So as a team, you, first of all, what's the purpose? You as a Scrum Master pulling these items into the product, into the sprint backlog. What value does it add? You just want to look busy, or you really add some value? That's just overhead, But, in my experience, I've seen a lot of Scrum Masters doing that, and I don't mind. I love doing it because that's the way I really learn. But typically, when my team is mature and then they are not struggling with this, that is not my job, that is your job, they are not struggling with that, everybody's just jumping in and helping, I will just stay back and observe as a Scrum Master during planning and during refinement. And then the PO, who is the one having this conversation like that with the team, will be the one, as the PO is opening any story, the conversation, as they're asking information. I mean, what I'm doing as a Scrum Master is I have my definition of ready that I'm going by, right? So I'm guiding them using the definition of ready to ensure that that story is ready to go into the sprint. As I'm doing the guidance, the PO now is entering that information. Whatever information is missing, the PO is entering all the information. And once applying the 3 C's, once the confirmation is made, okay, and then now they can pull the work. The PO is pulling the work into the sprint backlog. Come to think of it, the PO will do all this update and then leave it that, Karen, now it's your turn to pull the work into the sprint. See, that doesn't just make any sense. But again, it is common for Scrum Masters to facilitate these meetings and even enter the information to bring the stories to a ready point. The Scrum Masters typically do that, but best practice, the POs are supposed to be doing it. Come to think of it, for the purpose of it, for the value of it, the POs should be doing it. But you all are a team, which means that you all want to succeed. Bora, thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Tony. I can't thank you all enough. You all are so amazing. Thank you all so much. All right. Patrice asking, so you can use the 3 C's, impediments removal, and even during retrospective. Yes, you can use the 3 C's every time. You can use the 3 C's every time. Uche is asking, please, can you talk? I don't know what that means. I'm talking. And maybe you're referring to something else. That's why I don't like to assume, but I'm talking. I don't know what you mean, Uche. I think, well, I'm just being sarcastic here. Uche has been texting me and wanting me to connect with her, but I've not been available. I'm sure that's what she's referring to. So I'm just sarcastic here. Uche, don't worry, I'll connect with you offline. Okay. All right. Yes, thank you so much, Aisha, for encouraging the team to register. Yeah. Yeah, thank you all so much. Blair, thank you for connecting. Thank you for connecting, Blair. Thank you so much for connecting. All right, if we don't have any more questions, I'm gonna go straight because I plan to disconnect in the next 18 minutes. So I'm gonna go straight to our performance evaluation. I feel like I owe it all to you people. We are a team. We've been working together, not just the people in the community, in the BeingAgile community. We have a large family. So I feel like I owe it all to you people to let you all know how we have been doing. Okay, Bob. Okay. All right, I get you. All right, Bob. Thank you for clarifying. Cynthia, thank you for joining. You're amazing. So sorry for sharing your story. Cynthia is the latest Scrum Master from our community. She just landed her first job, not an ordinary job, but with a big pay package. I'm so proud of you all. This year has been great. All right, so I need us to see how BeingAgile has been doing. Since we decided to go public, right? It's been from April. No, from February. From February, since we decided to go public, it's been from February. Up till now, the people that we've helped land their first jobs, the people that we've trained just between that time and now, just people we've helped land their first jobs through our training, through our mentoring, through our level 2. We have different programs. We have hourly consulting. There are people that will connect for just hourly consulting. There are people that will connect with us for just training alone, level 1 training, and then they are trained and then they go look for their job on their own. They think they are good enough to, they don't need mentoring. There are people like that, many of them. And then we have people that will move from level 1 to level 2. We work with them throughout the process to help them land that job. We have people that come straight into level 2 without going through, which means they've been trained somewhere else before. Like people that have had the certification like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, but they've never ever had the job. They've never succeeded. All of these people. We have people that we connect with also when they just landed their jobs. And then they want to keep it. They don't want to lose it. Just this year alone, 620 people. Isn't that amazing? Those are the people that they have succeeded. They have, landed jobs. I'm not talking about people who have not landed jobs, though. I'm talking about working professionals. Even though our community of practice is tight because it's kind of in-house thing, we have criteria that we go by to let people be part of our community of practice like that. But all the people that are under this category that succeeded through our hourly consulting, through our level 1 training, through our level 2 mentoring and coaching, and then through our level 3 program. 620 people. That is fantastic. That is fantastic. At least expected that kind of outcome. And then those who have had their jobs, that I'm aware of because they reached out through maybe through email, maybe through LinkedIn, maybe through Instagram, Facebook, or direct contact. Those who have landed their job just by watching my content. I don't want to say my content. Sorry about that, because trust me, I'm not the only one behind all this. Just by watching what we bring here. Those who have landed their jobs, that I have the messages and the text emails, just by watching this, is going to 200 people that they've contacted us to share their testimony and their experience. Is going to 200 people just this year alone, from February up to now, just by watching this, what we bring here. That is amazing. That is amazing. Success to me is not necessarily sitting down with you one-on-one. That's exactly why I connect here. And when I'm connecting, I'm being so transparent, raw. I don't hide anything from you like that. On the topic that I want to address on that day, I can never say that I'll bring everything to you here like that. No, because it will not do justice to people that will enroll in the program. I will never, ever, like what I share here is just like 1% of the things that comes out of our program. Trust me, I will not lie to you. But the topic, when I've decided to bring a topic and discuss on that topic, I am 100% authentic and real. And as a result of that, we've been able to have close to 200 people that have reached out to us to just appreciate us and thank us for the work that we are doing, that are working, that landed jobs. That is amazing. So that tells us that we are doing something good. That tells us that we are on the right track. And that motivates us to want to keep going. That motivates us to want to keep going. It just makes goosebumps all over me. Anytime I get a message from anyone sharing their story, it's everything to me. It's just everything to me. Whether you've landed your job directly or indirectly. Some people, it's not even about the job. Some people, it's just the knowledge they are looking for. And they come get the training and they go their way. And most people that will go through the training, they will tell us on how exceptional, according to people, that's just the feedback I get from people, that the way I deliver training, the way I break things down and simplify, it just melts into their brain, into their health in a way. I don't know. That's what people say though. So I'm just sharing that with you. It just melts into their head, into their mind, and it stays with them. Something that they may have been struggling. Someone even shared their testimony on story mapping, that they've struggled so long, watched all sort of videos on story mapping. But when they attended the training and they listened to how I break down and train them on story mapping, they started wondering why they've been struggling with story mapping. Even user story estimation, story pointing estimation technique. A lot of people, just by sitting in that session for about 20 minutes, it just took that problem away. They've always been facing on understanding this story mapping thing. Slicing good user stories. So these points that I'm pointing out are the most feedback, the topics that we've received the most feedback on though. And these are the most critical ones that you need as a professional. You have to understand it, whether I like it or not. It's amazing. It's so inspiring. And then another point of success that I want to also mention, the people that have been able to get up, dust themselves, pick up the remaining pieces and start moving again just by watching the videos that we bring here on a weekly basis. That alone to me is even more than the jobs or the training or the knowledge anyone can get from this platform. Do you know what it means for someone to find hope again? Do you know what that means? Someone that has given up, that has thought, oh, this is not for me. This may never be for me. But that person found hope again just by listening to something that I've said. It caught their attention that, okay, if this Karen can do this, then I can do it too. If this is how this thing really is, It's not just for some specific privileged people. It's for everyone that is open to want to grow. It's for everyone. If this is really truly what it is, then I can definitely do it too. And they pick up themselves. They even call me and we figure it out and they get going. Sometimes it's not even about the job. Sometimes it's not even about this agile thing. A lot of people are listening to me, watching this whole thing when they're not even agile practitioners and they don't even intend to. I even have one person called me, I think that was 3 weeks ago, and told me that their mom, who came from Africa, that the mom watches my stuff every day from morning to night, is what the person is watching, the mom is watching. And they ask why if the mom is even understanding. Even my mom can tell you about Agile. Don't worry, I'm gonna post a video when my mom lectured me on Agile. I was so shocked. My mom didn't go to any school anywhere whatsoever. So he told me that the mom will be listening to my content from morning to night. And then the mom said, because the mom, as according to what he said, she's planning to move to the United States for good. And she said once she finally moved, she's going to become a Scrum Master. That she has to become a Scrum Master in this life before she dies. So that alone is very inspiring. People that has found purpose just by watching these videos, it's everything to me, especially in our third world community. I'm referring to Africans, I'm referring to Indians, I'm referring to so many other people or immigrants in general. Immigrants, and you must not only be in the United States, wherever you may be. And then maybe you are not an immigrant, but in this other kind of country where you have been wired to think that some specific profession is just for some specific people. A lot of people has reached out to tell me that, just by watching these, they now believe that they too can belong to this. Because we have that tendency of looking down on ourselves too much. Looking down on ourselves. I cannot even count how many people that will call, right? Just because they feel so insecure, they're doubting me as well. And someone is calling and trying to find out about the program. The person is not asking, okay, what is this program all about? And what do I need to do to get started? What's the cost? The person is asking me, how many years have you been doing this? Are you sure that you can really commit and give me what I am looking for? So how many people have you, like, the person is just doubting me and asking all sort of unbelievable questions. I don't even waste my time talking to that kind of person, because regardless of what you say, I might try to convince you, all sort of convincing at that point, but it's all just going to be bullshitting, because I can say whatever I want to say just to make sure that I bring you in and make you enroll. But that's not me. I cannot do that. In the agile space, we believe in trust at first sight. We believe so much in trust at first sight. So for you to be successful in this thing and work to achieve your goal, as you are the one looking for help, not me. I'm not looking for no help. You are the one looking for help. So you just have to take that risk and trust and see what comes out of it. Because I can answer all these very, very funny questions you're asking just to make you comfortable to sign in. And a lot of people have contacted us and they've shared their experience on how somebody said they will do this for them, give them everything. And once they got into the program, the person was nowhere to be found. The person was hardly even available. I can still say all that to you. I can still tell you all that just to make you sign in. And then you come in and you don't see. What are you going to do? You're not going to do me nothing. But that's just not me. So in our agile space, we believe in trust at first sight. We believe in trust at first sight. So you just have to trust and take that risk and see what comes out of it. So back to the point of people, just what we share here has been able to build people to believe in themselves again, to see some value in themselves, to believe that they too can do it, they too can become. And they've picked up the pieces of themselves and start pursuing whatever they are passionate about. Like I said, most people have contacted us when they are not even doing agile. But this alone has given them hope to see that they too can become it. If this one little African girl from somewhere is doing this, then I too can do it. I too can become it. I'm not ashamed to share my background. My background is a huge testimony. Seriously. And this is why I bring my whole self to you out here, just to show you that if I can do it, you can do it too. If I can do where I'm in this career path, in this community, influencing people, inspiring people, you too can do it. You too can. You see? So you must not want to be agile. And again, being an agile, learning agile is just going to be a plus because everybody needs agile. That's just the fact. Agile is a lifestyle. It's not even a career. It's a lifestyle. Knowing agile, it will make your life easy in everything else you're doing, in your personal life, in your home, in your community, in your job, in your work. There's a difference between job and work. It will balance and refine all those areas in your life just by you knowing agile. I need you to see agile as a professional biblical principle. I don't know if that makes sense at all. But the values and the principles is what makes agile agile. And that's what we are really after. It's not even about the Scrum. You see. So a lot of people experience that. They'll go and people just, sometimes I don't blame these people that promise and not do. I don't blame them. You know why? Because these potential students or mentees that will contact you, they will be pushing you to say things that they want to hear, as opposed to you telling them the truth. They'll be pushing you. Okay, this is a perfect example. Someone will connect, right, with us, and then the person would ask, is it 100% guaranteed that after I take this training, I'm going to have a job? Seriously? How can that be possible? It cannot be possible. I cannot tell you that it's 100% guaranteed, then I'm just lying to you. And that's just what the person wants to hear. The person wants me to tell you that yes, it is 100% guarantee. You must have your job. If you sign into this program, you will have your job. Like what I tell people when they connect and trying to get information or orientation, I don't have those who have already passed through this program, they know this, or those who have contacted us. I don't have any job sitting on the shelf that I will pick and give to you. I don't. That's the fact. You see? I don't have that job sitting on the shelf. But what I can guarantee you, I will give you all the support you need. I will give you all the resources you need. I will give you all the direction you need. I will give you the community, the family you need, the support system you need. That will set you up for not just landing a job, that will set you up for long-term success. That's what we do in our community. We build you to be autonomous, just like the way we preach to our teams. That is our goal. Someone even reached out and asking me if I can take their interview. Jesus. Sorry, I'm saying that. I know that a lot of people do that, but to me, I see that as an insult. That's an insult for you to reach out and asking me to take your interview for you. I don't even know you anywhere though. If it's someone that has passed through our program and asking to take their, anyone that has passed through our program will not even have that guts to ask me that, because they know that that's just not what I do. And besides, they must have built themselves up to a point where they are reflecting true leadership, and they will know that that's very, 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 very bad. Affects your credibility terribly. So anybody that has passed through our program will not even think about that, because they will be capable of handling their issues themselves. We build people to be autonomous. We build people to be independent, so that once your program is over, you don't necessarily need to depend on me anymore. That is the goal. So if you ever plan, or if you already contacted me with this kind of ridiculous questions, please stop. That's not what I do. That's not who I am. Okay. But what I can guarantee you is that we can build you to not need to want someone else to take your exams, to do all that for you. We can build you to build other people. That is what we do. Yeah. Uche, I know. Yeah, someone reached out. That was even 2 days ago. The last one I got was 2 days ago. And and I sensed that was African. You know why? Because the way they would sound, my sister, you're very smart, my sister. I was wondering if you can take my interview for me so that I don't need to cram anything. My sister. Well, sometimes when I see that, I laugh though. But it's funny. It's funny. You don't want to do. I mean, don't be that person. You and I know that sometimes again it's insecurity that is causing all that. Come to think of it, even if I take your interview, you pass the interview. Who is going to do the job for you? Who is going to do the job? I'm not going to do the job for you. And if you're not performing, they will kick you out like yesterday. They will kick you out. Even if you land that job and you go, you're not performing, they will kick you out. It's expensive. Wow. I don't know if the person's from West Africa. I don't know. They will kick you out. Look, they pay Scrum Masters a lot of money. It paid them a lot of money. Come to think of it, that's a lot of money. And then you think you just come and sit and be watching the clock or something. They would fire you. So even if I take your interviews for you, I'm not doing you any good. I'm not doing you any good because they'll still fire you. John, yeah, they'll say, my sister, come and do the job for me. Yeah. So that in summary, that is how we've been doing this year. That is how we've been doing this year in summary, team. And I just want to thank you all. So if you check subscription, just between February that we decided to come public, we are getting to 7,000 subscribers. We are getting to 7,000 subscribers. Some people take 10 years to ever get this number of subscription. Some people take 10 years to ever get this number of subscription. More than some people never even get there. But just within this year, we're getting to 7,000 subscribers. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? It means we've been doing something. So if you plan to call me and start questioning my credibility, just what I put here alone should already validate my credibility. If you plan to call me and start questioning my credibility, please don't waste my time. Don't waste my time. If you plan to call me so that we can get busy on achieving great things, great outcome, conquering this world with the kind of leadership that the world has never seen, then I'm all yours. I'm all yours. I'll be glad to embrace you, bring you into our family of wonderful people, wonderful servant leaders. They all have the same mindset. That is why we don't admit external people. That is why you must have passed through our program. At least you must have been with us for at least 2 months like that before you can be part of our community. If you pass through us just by training level 1 or early consulting and you get that job, no, we cannot bring you into the community. Not because we don't want to. The reason is because we have a very healthy mindset culture that we don't want it to be infected. We have a very healthy culture, and I protect that more than anything else. So we keep it really tight for people that we know that at least their mindset is healthy and they will be of good to the community. Those are the people we bring into. There are a lot of people that have gotten jobs even through our level 2 program, but we don't bring them into the community and they know themselves. And we talk to them, we communicate, and we give them the reason why they cannot be part of the community. Some people's mindset are just their mindset. You can still help them get the job, but the mindset is still very unhealthy for others. And it may affect other people too. We don't want that. So we don't bring you into the community. So if you are ready to kick this 2022 as a champion, join our family. But if you want to call me and start questioning how many years I've been doing this, if I have another job, people ask me all sort of ridiculous questions. If I have another job, why doing this? And some people would say, they even told me that there is another person. They will be calling names of other consulting providers that they also do it very well. So can you tell me, so that's why I just want to know. I'm like, okay, if they're doing it very well, we all are on the same boat. We are working towards the same goal. If these other people are there doing it well, then great, that's awesome. So if you want to join them, that's fine. I mean, I want everyone to succeed. So if there is someone else that is also doing it excellently, I must not be. I'm definitely shouldn't be the only one. Join them. So don't call and then you're telling me about this other person that they said the person is doing it well, and then just call the person and talk to the person and get into the person's program. I'm a very busy woman. I don't have that kind of time to waste, my dear people. I'm a very, very busy woman, you know. So if you're calling me for something valuable so that we get to work, please do. I'll be so more than glad to help you. But if you're calling me to start asking sort of question that's not healthy, don't do that. Matute Rudolph said, take one plate fufu and arrow on my bill. Yeah, so as a matter of fact, fufu and arrow is what I ate today. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, so team, as I'm rounding up, please, if you're looking to enroll in any of our programs, like I said, for the level 1 training, the deadline to enroll for the January session is today. So if you're looking to enroll, please do. I mean, and it's for your own good. That's why we have a deadline. There are people that also want to enroll even after the program, but again, you'll be falling behind. If you don't mind, that's okay. But best recommendation to you is it will be healthy you enroll today so that they grant you access to your lessons so that you get going and set yourself up for success on the first day of class, which is going to be the 4th of January. Okay. All right, so Prince is asking. So Prince is one of our channel members. Prince even has a membership in our channel. Awesome, thank you, Prince. So Prince say, how can you explain yourself as a Scrum Master to a lay person on the street? Okay, so Prince, that's a very important question, but at this point, we already rounded it up. But I promise that I'm going to address that question either through a video or another live session. I promise you. Okay. I think I've been doing a lot of talking here for almost 1 hour, 30 minutes. And I don't know who will listen or read this bird. One thing I know is Agile is a day. Yes, Rudolph, that's very true. Agile is a day-to-day activity. Yeah, so thank you all so much, team. Happy New Year to you all. You all have been so amazing. You know, all of this success story that I'm sharing here is as a result of you. It's your contribution, your support, you giving me and my team the platform to want to contribute to the community. So Bura, deadline for level 2, you can start on any Monday or any Wednesday. Now it all depends on how quickly you want to learn your job or achieve your goals. If you want to get this going right away, know that's a 2 months program. So whenever you start, your 2 months will be taken care of. Your 2 months will be taken care of. But you can start on any Monday or any Wednesday. It doesn't really have a deadline like that. But it all depends on how quickly you want this. I hope that answers your questions. All right. Yes, Nancy, we have sessions every month. We have training sessions every month. Level 1 is a monthly thing. But level 2, you can start on any Monday or any Wednesday. Nancy, yes, we have Canada-based people. We serve clients globally. We have clients from Australia, Germany, UK, USA, India, Nigeria. My Nigeria bros and sis, we have them too in the house. That, to me, I see that as a huge sacrifice. Imagine, it's not cheap. Paying with Nigeria from Nigeria is not cheap, but they choose to do the sacrifice, and I respect them a lot for that. Yeah, we serve clients globally. Our program is designed to be flexible enough to accommodate everybody. It's a 100% virtual program. Happy New Year, everyone. Thank you all so much. And I'll be leaving you now. Talk to you all later. Bye. Cameron, oh yeah, this song. Cameron, oh yeah.